Hello and welcome to our Grahame's Grindhouse Boogie. This is our follow-up piece to the Jerry Lee Lewis Boogie that was very popular. And this piece is in 12/8, so that's the difference. And it has the same left hand, though in 12/8 again, as Ray Charles's Mess Around, which you might know. I'll play the piece now and then I'll talk you through some of the technical details afterwards. I hope you enjoyed that piece. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the technical aspects of this piece. We'll start with the left hand because it's probably the trickiest part of the piece, getting the left hand right. But if you can't manage this left hand, we have easier levels where the left hand is simplified, particularly if you have smaller hands. The difficult thing about this left hand is that it's played in octaves. And you play up and down a C6 scale, so these are the notes. The difficult thing is doing this at speed, and when you actually play the piece, it's probably a very good idea to actually look at your left hand most of the time to make sure you don't play the wrong notes there, because it's very easy to mess up in that regard. The important thing here to remember is that when you actually play the left hand, you want to play it as though your wrist is rotating. That way you put most of the stress and strain to your upper arm rather than here. If you try and play it with your fingers like this, you'll end up playing mistakes very easily, and that won't work. So this is the action you want. That way you'll last through the entire piece, which is quite difficult as well. You can see that when I'm doing it at speed, how my thumb is lashing out onto the notes that it has to play are up. Right, just to point out what the simplification is on the level 3.5, which you can get from our website, Greatscores.com, is that there are no octaves in the left hand, so it sounds like this. Which makes life an awful lot easier, particularly if you have smaller hands. Just a little tutorial now about the riffs in the right hand, which occur on the third page of our piece. You play an F7 chord, which is voiced this way. A, C, E flat and F. But you want to play it with your thumb, your second finger, your fourth finger, and your fifth finger. So your third finger is free to play the D, which you're going to rip through. So you play the chord twice, and very quickly you rip through these 5 notes. That was in slow motion, so at speed it's just a very quick flick like that of the wrist. So what I'm doing again, this is a similar technique to the left hand which I was explaining earlier, is that you use the power of your wrist to go through the notes. So don't try and play it through your fingers like this. That's far too much work. You want to play through the notes with your wrist by rolling through the chord. And you get a very neat sound like that.